Comics of 100 Years Ago, January 24th, 1926. A Big Moment in a Little Man's Life by Herriman. A couple drives a car down the street. It's a two-seater. The little man is driving. The wife says, "Why, Abner, fancy you being on familiar terms with a policeman. You." The man blushes and says, "Sure, I know that cop. Know him well, huh?" The cop says, "Goof, I tried to tell him his tire was flat." A little boy with a homemade scooter says, "Well, when do we go, kid? When do we go?" Us husbands. Two men are sitting in a bar, they're in a train station. And they have their backs to one another, but their two glasses are resting on the same table. The man in the checked suit and Homburg says, "Stranger in town, are you?" And the man in the striped coat and bowler hat says, "Yes, I just got in." The gentleman in the checked suit shakes his cigar and says, "Me? I live here." "You do, eh?" says the bowler-hatted man. "Yep, just now I'm waiting for a few of the boys to show up." "Oh ho, something coming off, eh?" says the man in the bowler hat. The man in the checked suit makes a motion of shuffling cards and says, "Yeah, just a little game of poker." "Oh, fine. Who's all in it?" says the man in the bowler hat, sipping his drink. "The judge 1, the senator 2, the colonel 3, Doc 4, and me, that's 5. One more would make a sweet little game. How'd you like to sit in, eh?" The man in the bowler hat says, "Me? Sure, I'd like to sit in. First rate." Our checked-suited gentleman pulls at his lapels and says, "Say, how about your wife? Will she care?" "Nah," says the bowler-hatted man, folding his fingers together. "She won't?" asks the man in the checked suit. "Nah," says the man with the bowler hat. The telephone rings in the background, and the man in the checked suit is now slid right next to the bowler-hatted man and says, "How about if you stayed out, fairly late and lost, say, quite a few dollars? Would she, would she care?" "Nah," says the bowler-hatted man. The barkeep says, "Your wife's on the phone," to the man in the checked suit. "Excuse me just a second," the checked-suited man says. "Sure, don't mind me. Go right ahead," says the man in the bowler hat, grinning at him. Check-suited man talks on the phone and says, "Aw, but listen, Helen, why should I come home? Ain't I sitting right here with an old pal of mine? And let me tell you something, his wife doesn't care if he plays poker, or if he stays out a little while, or loses a dime or two, or what's that you say? What makes you think that?" He holds the receiver of the phone away from his mouth and leans towards the man with the bowler hat and says, "Hey, listen, she never saw you in her life, and she's betting me $5 that you're a bachelor." "I am," says the man in the bowler hat. Now the check-suited man says, all right, I'll be home." The bartender has picked up the glasses the men were drinking from and says to the man in the bowler hat, "Next train out. To where?" "Anywhere," says the man with the bowler hat, rolling his eyes.